All right, a quick little video about deadlift and straps. One of the things that I promote is learning to use the hook grip, and mainly the reason is how you develop your back. When you pull with the mixed grip, there's a lot of factors that takes place, and I don't want to make this long-winded, but it puts a huge amount of stress on your underhand with the alternating grip on deadlift. And you see it with some commonality. You see that bicep injury. It also develops the back differently because the load is uneven. You're creating leverage with that mixed grip, and it allows you to have not as strong a grip and still be able to pull the weight. So the hook grip will actually allow you to be taller in the pocket, better positioning, better development, lots of stress off of the biceps, and you don't tend to pronate nearly as bad with the shoulders. Now, what does that have to do with the straps? Well, let me give you a couple examples. With squatting and benching, you have an eccentric concentric motion. You have a loading, phase, and then the moving phase where you're pressing or squatting out of the hole. And with deadlift, basically you're overcoming inertia, and you're bending down and you're picking the weight up. But there's a lot more to it than that. So what we teach is that the deadlift starts at the top when you approach the barbell and get your positioning. We break at the hips, get our grip, square the slack out of the bar so that way the shoulders are nice and erect, back is straight, lats are engaged, and you load to the point where the bar is pulled to you and not moving away, and then engage in the pull. What we found, what is really difficult about that and why straps come into play, is initially a lot of people were taught to set up right up against the barbell, and that's a mistake. Because ergonomically, regardless of how well you're positioned, those shins are going to push forward, and if you're set up against the bar, it's going to push the bar away from you. Now, the thing about overcoming inertia, I'm not a physicist, but what I do know about physics, if you're overcoming something that is still and its initial movement and energy put into it moves it away from you, once you engage in the pull and the weight comes up, the weight still wants to go forward, and you get that pendulum effect, and that is obviously not desirable. When we teach people to load correctly, a lot of times what happens is they still sit. They don't create tension. They don't actually create a load, or they rush and the weight is moving away from you, and you're not tight and all over the place. What we found is with straps, it makes you slow the process down. I don't have people bend at the knees. I still have them bend at the waist and learn to get, and they're very adept at using the straps, and it makes them slow down and put tension in those hands, because if you don't and the straps aren't nice and snug, the bar falls away, and that's obviously something we don't want. So with the straps, we really learn how to, one, is be methodical, don't rush until it's time to be dynamic and explosive, and that's when you get to the bottom of the load and you explode out of the hole. So hopefully that's something that helps, and it'll give you a tool not only to save your grip, because we use hook grip. I don't program a bunch of reps, because it is tough on the hands, and even as long as I've been doing it, doing a lot of reps beats the hands up. And I like to do things like, if I'm training RDLs, I'm fortunate enough that I have some of those monolift type hooks that I can set up in the power rack wherever I want, and I can do RDLs from the top, which is so much better than, again, deadlifting it up or stiff legging it up, which people tend to do. And it's a much more beneficial movement in that manner. So anyway, give that a try.